What's up, everybody? Plano Trade and Exchange here, and I got another big PSA sub for you guys. Honestly, there's nothing super exciting about this lot. Part of this lot was experimental in nature, but also some of it was I did send some cards that I was very hopeful for, and honestly, this is not my best submission. I think I took a little bit more of a risk than I usually do on some of these cards, and honestly, some of that is just based on the way PSA has been recently grading. But uh, fortunately, I did have a competent grader. I think he was pretty strict about how he graded some of these cards, but let's go ahead and go through it, and I'll kind of explain. First, we got a Glad Beast Radiardi, got an 8. That's much better than the 7 it got. It does have like a soft, questionable, very soft like indentation. Like it is very unnoticeable. Pretty sad that it had that, but yeah, that got an 8. That's okay. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. All of these will be for sale, but I don't know if I'm gonna crack it or not. I might crack it raw and then sell it as such, but I'm not sure. Next is a 7 Dark Magician. This is a super mint Dark Magician. However, it does have some whitening issues there on the side. And they're pretty significant, I would say. It's a bummer because like otherwise it's a clean card. It is a foil line error. I am selling this for I think like 275 or so. Next is just a regular SDY. This was near mint, so I subbed it. These always sell pretty well. Next is sadly a Dark Magician DDS that got a 7. And I wanted to see how they would rate the surface scratches. That's like the biggest thing that people miss out on these cards is the surface scratches that are there in the foiling. You can't really see them, but there's a couple going right there. And they're pretty significant. They're not very soft lines. They're very noticeable when you take the card raw. So very unfortunate, but I think I will crack that, sell it raw. Next is probably the most exciting card in the lot, and that's the Summon Skull MRD First Ed. What are those markings? I don't think that's a card. This one I think had it maybe had like a small surface line somewhere on the back. Other than that, it was pristine. Bought it from a collection that was untouched in Sherman, Texas, about an hour and a half away, and I got a 10. This was previously a BGS 9. So further showing that I think BGS is just a little too stingy with their 9.5s. PSA has been a little more liberal with their 10s. Definitely not in this lot, but I've seen some cards that just should not have gotten 10s. Next is a wavy Maneater Bug. We cannot really tell the waves on this card. There they go. Very soft. But yeah, beautiful card. I think it's just a centering issue, and I want to say there was a surface line somewhere. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. This is a 1.5 print Mystical Elf. I mean, it's a beautiful card, but yeah, got the 9. Pretty happy about that. I believe it had the chance for a 10. Oh, yeah, but that's right. I remember it had one little issue, and that was the whitening in the corner. So that's probably why it got the 9. 7, LOB Exodia. Don't know why. These cases are dirty. I just pulled these out of the box from PSA, so well, it is pretty OC. There is silvering at the top, so maybe that's probably why it got the 7. I am going to crack some of these, mostly just to kind of see why they got the grade they got, to see if PSA's changed their standards. There's a part of me that thinks, like, this wasn't a very strong lot. Like, I wasn't expecting a ton of 10s, but that's pretty harsh. I did sub that for a 9, so this one was also graded very harshly. I'm not sure why it got the 7. This card was absolutely clean when I subbed it. I mean, maybe for the Anubis stamp, but other than that, I don't know why this card got a 7. It definitely wasn't a 10. Like, it was maybe a 10 candidate. It's skinnier at the top than the bottom, but yeah, that's gonna be a crack. So we'll see. Stay tuned. Next, DDS Exodia got a 9. Yeah, this card I just don't like this card a whole lot. Don't know why I got the 9 either, because its centering is pretty solid, I think, for a 10. So I might just crack that and resub it, because getting a 10 on that is worth it. Next is a Dasher. Yeah, I don't know why this got the 9 either. This was a very... Oh, there is some minor... Okay, well, that's why. That's a bummer. Majestic Star, this was minty in the front, but then I remembered it had some corner, like, whitening issues, as many of these Stardust Overdrive cards have. But yeah, as you can see, corner whitening issue. So I might just crack that also. This is going to be a lot of this lot will be cracked, unfortunately, but yeah, I otherwise a lot of these won't sell. But all right, next we got an Ian Flame Swordsman. Again, not sure what happened here. This was a very mint card, but that's okay, because its counterpart got the 10. So pretty sweet card. This one was super... One of them was... I knew one of them would get a 9, one of them would get a 10, at least. So, but not the 8. Not the 8, but it is what it is. Next, we got a Wavy Dark Magician. It got a 9. That's fine. It's hard to tell on this camera, but... Yeah, it is a very clean card. I think this one was just OC, but otherwise very clean. That has already sold. Don't know why this got the 7. This was an... Oh, wait. It does kind of have a soft corner. Oh, good catch, guys. I want to say I did sub it like that. Bummer. Well, okay. That was experimental, and that went wrong. Next, Blade Knight. I think this one just had some... very minor stuff on the back, but other than that, it was clean. So good 9 there. This got a 10. I knew one of these Exodia... I subbed a lot. I sub a lot of Exodia limbs, and I knew this one would get the 10. One of the legs would. I wasn't expecting the 8, though. So again, not sure. Oh, maybe... Yeah, again, not sure why this got the 8, but I think I'm just gonna... Oh. Yeah, there's a lot of silver, or a lot of whitening on that corner. Dang. All right, that definitely deserved an 8. All right, good job, PSA. Next is a shifted LOB, Monster Reborn. Again, not really sure why I got the 7. There is like a soft little ding up there. You can barely see it, but other than that, I don't know what happened with this one. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that, like crack it or sell it as is. We'll see. Raigeki got a 9. Thought it could pull the 10, but now that I'm looking at the centering, it is interesting that it got a 9 despite this. You can't see it, but there is some foiling there on the side. So aside from the centering and the foiling issue, it was clean, but yeah, it still got the 9, so right on. This card, pretty disappointing. I'm not sure what... Oh, what is that? Did y'all see that ding? Huh, I don't remember that prior to grading. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing with that. That's also pretty... This is a pretty worthless card unless it's a 10, so might just crack it to see what happened. LOBEN, Monster Reborn got a 9. Was expecting the 9, so that's good. And then I got 1, 2, 3 Black Luster Soldiers and 8s. So they were pretty harsh. These did have some some issues with the back, like scuffing and wear, and you can see this one had some whitening on the corner. So I was hoping one of them or two of them could slip a 9. All of them got 8s. Curiosity killed the cat, though. I'm the cat, so that's all right. Let's see. Stardust, 8. That one was just really clean, just OC, I believe. Yeah. Red Dragon Arcane got an 8, so that's kind of a bummer. I'm not really sure why, so I might crack that. Is it worth cracking for a 9? I don't know. Maybe not. I really don't like 8s. So this got a 9. This one was one where I thought could pull the 10. It is OC from top to bottom, but yeah, I don't know. Oh well. Next, the card that shouldn't have got a 9, but it got a 9. Stonian Blast Unlimited. Kind of a junk slab there. Yeah, this got a 10. I was expecting the 10, so pretty happy about this. It is unlimited, unfortunately, but I'll take a 10. Next, I wanted to see how OC a card can be before it got an 8 or a 9, and this is pretty OC, as you can see, from this side and this side. They're just thicker sides, and it got a 9, so looks like they used to count off a lot for centering issues, like dinging it down to a 7 for this, and it looks like they've retraced their steps and said maybe that was too harsh, and now the OC cards are actually getting 9s. And there's some other cards that are like that did get the 9s, and you'll see those here in a sec. Original print LOB Blue Eyes. Yeah, I don't know. It is very OC, like top to bottom, but I don't think that's the issue. And I can't remember. This one did have quite a bit of scuffing on the back. You can kind of see it a little bit there. I think I might just keep it like that and sell as is. Next, we have a PCY Blue Eyes. Man, I thought this could pull a 10. It really, really did. Don't know what they saw to get the 9. Oh, there is that surface scratch on the back. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I might just sell it as is. Next is a big hit. Well, not really a big hit, but it's a very shifted Blue Eyes White Dragon. It was a BGS 8.5. I cracked it to see maybe it can get a 9, and no, it actually has quite a bit of scuffing on the back, as most of the BBT 10s do. But this, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I really like this card, but I really wish it was a higher grade. So if I sell it, it'll definitely be at a premium. I won this at a PWCC auction for I think like 350, 300, which is pretty high for this card alone in a 9, 8 or 9. But like, you know, this is a pretty good shift. So I would definitely want like close to 700 for that at least. Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep it. Next is original print Monster Reborn. People like Monster Reborn a lot, especially the original print ones, so that's why I grade them. I was expecting a 10 on this. Got the 10. Beautiful card. Very useless card in the game, but it is a Strike and Neo's Ultimate, so good stuff there. I had like 50 of these in my collection, and I saw one with no foil scratches, good centering, and it did get the 10, so that one was pretty easy. Here's some cards that I thought would get 10s because they were mint, and they were well centered, etc. Everything passed, but they're low. They're very low value cards, but I subbed them nonetheless because I thought they would do pretty well. So next we have Cannon Soldier here. Absolutely clean, no issues at all on the card. I got a 9, so not worth the resub. This is maybe like a $3 or $4 card, so that's unfortunate. I'm just gonna try to get the the submission price back for that. Next is this Sapphire Pegasus I've had in my collection, like my graded pile. Like I have a graded pile of cards that have just been sitting there for a long time, and that's where a lot of these went because I actually dropped this submission off with PSA at the Dallas Card Show because they were there, and I figured, well, if they're here, I'm not paying for shipping. It does reduce the risk of does reduce the leverage I put into the lot, and so I subbed the Cannon Soldier and I subbed this. This one got a 10, so pretty happy about that. It's a pretty card, it is, but I'm just not a big Crystal Beast guy. But yeah, that's for sale. Next, Light and Darkness Dragon. This is actually a pretty low pop card. I mean, you see it everywhere. It was played everywhere back in the day, especially for Teledad, or more Telemonarch formats, but this got the 10. So that's a pretty cool card. I did sell that one, so that one will be set aside. This was just a mint Blue Eyes that got a 9. And yeah, that's all there is to that one. Next is a big card. It's Chaos Emperor. This one I was a little concerned with because it did have its classic corner. You can barely see the whitening there. Oh, what are those little marks? What the heck? Well, that's why I got the 8. Well, there's that. I think I'm just going to sell it as is. We'll see. Yep, another card that was, you know, high risk, low reward. So, Sage of Stone. Another card that's high risk, low reward, Command Knight, or maybe high reward. I don't know, but it got the 10, so I'm banking in on that. Next, another card that's I've always found these in light play condition, never near mint, let alone mint. This card was absolutely mint, absolutely well centered, and there's usually silvering issues. You did find this, I believe, in a book, and I got the 10. Really sick card. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. This has sold along with the LADD Dragon, so those will be shipped out today. I love my Exodia limbs. This one is an Ian print that got a 9. You know, high risk, low reward card, got a 9. Whatever. Another Exodia limb, 9. This was in the pile of cards that I was like unsure if I should sub, because if you get a 9, it's not really worth it. It got a 10, so this is still for sale. Let's see. Got a wavy mystical elf. Very hard to tell, but there it is. Oh yeah, it is a beautiful card. Got the 9. This card was absolutely mint. Not sure why I got the 9. Maybe centering, I don't know. I might just crack and resub this to maybe get the 10, because this card was super clean when I subbed it. And then next is a very OC Grave Robber with super mint, and it got the 9 OC. I've never pulled one before. Like, I've seen people sub 9 or sub OC cards and then getting 7s, which is kind of bad because they were mint, but now they're back on track with their centering stuff, I think. So that's good. And next, you can kind of fast forward the video if you want, but just got a bunch of Blue Eyes White Dragons. Some of this, I basically had a binder of about, I think 120. Gosh, these are dirty cases. 120, 130 Blue Eyes. But yeah, as you can see here, I'm going to kind of go through these. Whoops. Because I want to see how certain grades came about on some of these. Like this one got a 7. Like this one has indents on the back and still got a 7. Like that is pretty generous to me for a 7. I'm not very keen on understanding 7s-ish and below on graded cards. So like, yeah, the fact that any of these, like, this one's cool. This one's got a light foil bleed on it. But yeah, I don't really understand like fully 6 and below, like especially. So I'm going to kind of analyze these a bit and just kind of see like what does warrant a 6, you know? And these were basically, like this one got an 8. And this one was this one was near mint, I will say, but the silvering, I wasn't sure how they would grade. You can't really see it from this angle, but there's quite a bit of silvering at the top. Still pulled an 8, so that's cool. Shows that they don't really mind silvering a ton, which is a factory issue, so yeah. Let me see. I do have somebody, oh, this one was mint. And let me see. Why did I get the 9? Gosh, I've subbed. There's some whitening up there, maybe. Whitening there. Yeah. This one might be sold already, but yeah. So I forget what I was saying. Yeah, some of these I subbed because they have cool little errors. Like this one's a max foil bleed. The light is not doing it justice, but I think I just picked ones that had good front surfaces and ones that could pull like 5 or higher to my estimation. And yeah, I'm only in them for the grading fee. And I think aside from that, like everything else I could just do pretty well on, I think. So I think there are 25 of these. And I sold 3 or 4 of them. You know, it's interesting to see all the different versions of them too. Like this is like probably like a more recent reprint versus this one. Like you can just kind of tell by the colors. This the borders are just, you know, it's more vanilla than this one. It's almost kind of a brown. So yeah, really pretty card. This one's the max foil bleed. Look at that. I mean, it's a 3, but it's a bleed, you know. So yeah, if somebody wants to just hit me up and buy all of these, besides the 3 that's sold, hit me up, comment, and make sure that you guys subscribe to check out more videos. I do have another submission coming here in a week or 2. That'll be smaller, but a more dense in value kind of collection. So very excited about that one coming in. Don't know the grades yet, but yeah, I think it's going to be good. I'm a lot more confident about that smaller lot than I am about this one. This one was kind of more so experimental, more so risky, but also like there were some cards that I expected to get 10s, and for the most part they did get it. And you know, you got cards like this where you were expecting a 7, or you know, you might get a 7 or an 8 for the centering issue, or they might give you the OC qualifier. Too bad it's Grave Robber. Nobody really cares about Grave Robber. But anyways, yeah, guys, hope y'all liked the video. Make sure you comment on what cards you want, and make sure to follow me on Instagram to check out the sales for this lot, as that's where most of my PSA sales reside. So have a good one, guys. God bless.